Okay, everybody. Today we've got SAS here, and I've got Anselmo, and I've got Kelly, National Account Manager, Anselmo.
Yes, that'd be me.
And National Sales Manager, Kelly.
Yep.
And I'm just a local lawyer, so I'm in the presence of greatness and kingdomness. Anyway, we're going to talk about the services that they provide for many of our clients and many of you guys out there. I'll say in 2 seconds, which won't describe what they're actually going to go over, but essentially water conservation, how to save dollars over a 3 to 5 year period. Again, I've used them. We intend on using them in all of our future toilet remodels. And we're going to let Kelly and Anselmo take it right now. And why don't you tell us a little bit about what you guys do?
Yeah, so thank you for having us today.
Welcome.
We're super excited to be here, surrounding ourselves with like-minded individuals because, we know everything legal, right?
Yeah, right.
I know everything about flushing.
So,
I flush money down the toilet all the time.
This is a great trio. Well,
Why
we're going
not?
to stop that.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
we're going to let you save your money, right?
Perfect.
So that's a little bit about SAS, is that we focus on water conservation through the installation of ultra-high efficiency plumbing fixtures. We're reducing the water and sewer costs for our multifamily clients like yours, 20 to 40%.
Wow.
And for those clients that are holding their properties for 3 to 5 years, it's a really nice asset value boost. So on average, if you're reducing the water and sewer, let's say $50,000 a year, then at that point, let's say there's a 6.5 cap rate, you're looking at $770,000 asset value boost on the back end.
You sound like you've done this before.
Yeah. I know, right?
Yeah.
So you've got to know your numbers.
Right. So basically, I can spend $50,000
Yep.
in certain circumstances, and I enhance the value of my asset by $500,000 or more.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a nice other income that you really don't have to do much with. And quite honestly, most of the toilets that you guys are looking at, not you personally, but you guys are involved
I've seen my
in.
fair share. I've seen my fair share.
How many have you seen?
So I've personally walked probably about 30,000 units across.
Do you say
over the
units
last-
or do you say
units.
did you walk toilets?
Units.
Okay, so you don't walk in the toilets.
No,
How do
it's
you
tough.
walk in the toilet?
I don't know. It's your business.
It's tough. Tough to get a foot in there, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I try to stay out of them. But
Good.
yeah, 30,000 units, and when you walk 30,000 units and over 300 properties, you think you've seen it all, and then boom,
Yeah.
something else hits you.
So look, the deal that one of the deals I was looking at, I'm not going to go into too many details because
Right.
the deal is still on the market, but it had over 200 units, and so you guys, and it was either late 60s or early 70s model. I actually know what it is, but I'm not going to give it away.
Right.
But it was let's call it an early 70s genre, and I believe the toilets were.
Pink.
Well, I don't know if they were originally pink. The toilets were like 1.8 or 2.4 gallon. They were high numbers. I don't know if
3.5.
3.5. There we go.
gallons
Yeah.
per flush. Yep.
This is not my part of the business.
That's what we're here for.
It's really crappy of me to say that, but I just I try to keep my business
It's okay.
clean.
Toilets aren't sexy, so a lot
No.
of people skip them.
But money is. So we're in the world of the toilets so that you can enjoy the money savings. So
Kelly,
that's what makes the toilet sexy.
Can you tell everybody what you tell me? You're number one.
At number 2. Yeah.
Kelly is
Also known as the Potty Princess.
Yeah,
I mean,
she's the
gotta
Potty
make it
Princess,
fun.
but she's the number one in the number 2. And I assume she's also number 1 in number 1, 2, and 3. But I like the number 1 and number 2, which is interesting
Yeah.
because I tell my kids when they're competing, and most of the time it's academic competing, that second place or number 2 is the first loser.
Yeah.
So
True.
are you telling people that number 2 is not as good as number 1?
I think number 1 is great. I mean,
It's all got to go down.
yeah.
It's all going
Just all
downhill.
send it downhill.
Yeah.
It's all going downhill.
Yeah.
Great. Anyway, back on topic. So we're talking about like a deal I looked at that's 200 units, and it's got a toilet in each unit. I believe it has 2 sinks and and a kitchen. Has a bathroom sink and a kitchen sink and a shower head.
Yep.
So walk me through what you guys are basically going to look at, how that process works. This is pre-contract for me, so I'm trying to understand, does it make sense to use a company like yours? And, I've got the water bills. This one happens to be an all bills paid, so clearly any it can be ouch, depends on the cap rate. But so any savings is going to directly reflect me as well as the tenant. So what do you guys look for, in something like that?
So this is the stuff that gets me excited, right? So
It's weird.
we'll walk into every unit, right?
Right.
And when we're walking into every unit, we're going to capture the flow rates of your toilet. So like that old.
Should I really ask how you're capturing the flow rate in every unit? Are you eating a lot of spicy Mexican food before, so you have enough to
testing
hit every
it,
toilet?
flushing it, making sure it works right, Yes.
Okay.
But if this was a dating site, like you just mentioned, 1970s, that's my ideal person right there.
Yeah. So we're gonna
And
swipe
all
right.
and all bills paid. Oh, even
Yeah.
better.
Yes. Oh, okay.
Yes.
I'm trying to figure out where you're going with that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. So I like all bills paid, especially
Yeah.
if I can manage the utilities.
The expenses.
Exactly.
Yep.
So on that type of deal, it's all bills paid. You're gonna go through and you're gonna check the flow rate of each one. What about
The toilets, and we'll take a look at the shower heads too. So look
Okay.
at the flow rates of the shower heads, and then the aerators. So the bathroom aerators, and then the kitchen aerators. So that little piece at the end of the faucet, we would unscrew that, take a look to see what that flow rate is, and then document all that. And of course the leaks too. So we
Front of the
always
wall.
want to document the leaks that we come across, because all bills paid, the residents, are they really going to be reporting leaks?
no?
No,
They
because
never do.
they don't want you in their unit, or they don't
Right.
want to get blamed.
Right,
Right.
right.
They're fearful.
So we're documenting all that. We're going to let you know as soon as we're done with our assessment. We're telling you immediately, hey, these 10 units, we found leaks in the toilet, shower head, aerator. That way, so you can get them fixed right away.
Just a little. It just brings something to mind, totally unrelated to this. Rob will put the picture up behind me. But we were doing due diligence on an asset in Amarillo when you said leaks. And one of the pictures I saw, there was a leak in the ceiling above the bathroom shower. The woman put an umbrella above the shower head so that the water coming in from the ceiling didn't get her wet when she took a shower.
Oh, yeah.
Does that make sense? First of all, the umbrella is a whole issue.
Yeah.
2, didn't report it. And
Didn't
3,
bother to
why
report.
is water
Yeah.
hitting your head when you're taking a shower a
Right.
problem in the first place?
So what's going on upstairs?
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, when you were saying leaks and some of the things, back to what you were saying, isn't there also something you look at as to where the water comes in? Does it come in from the bottom or the side for the toilet?
Yeah. So
The angle stops, yes.
Angle
angle
stop.
stop.
Yeah.
Because
So you have
that was
the-
in my report and I had no idea what they were talking
Yeah.
about.
So the angle stop, but then also if the toilet is a bottom discharge or a rear discharge. So a rear discharge would be when the flange is on the back of the wall.
The what? Is that the little flapper?
No.
Oh.
So the base of the toilet.
Yeah.
So most of our toilets at home.
Can you put a picture of the flange?
Yeah, I mean, we
Okay.
can do that. So most of the toilets at home are going to be bottom discharge, where
So
you
the
know,
holes in
all
the
of-
bottom.
All of the
Yes.
waste
Yeah.
is going out of the bottom.
Right.
But a lot of aging properties actually were designed with the flange on the back of the wall. So the waste is actually going out the back of the wall, rear discharge, and then down.
Okay.
So you see that a lot. And those are a little bit more difficult to retrofit.
Something kind of gets stuck on the side.
It could. So those are some things that we'll look for during the analysis to make sure that that property will support this type of technology.
Interesting.
Yep.
Angle stops too. I mean, we're taking a look at the piping of that specific property. I mean, is it CPVC? Is it copper? Is it
Is it cast iron?
Cast iron.
Yep.
We want to know.
So I assume because you guys are putting more efficient mechanics into the system, which are using less water, there's probably a little less pressure pushing the stuff back. I say stuff.
Oh, you're
So-
gonna love
Waste.
this.
Waste. So I'm presuming we're worried more about number 2 than number 1,
Right.
right?
You
we
would
don't
think.
want well, I hope so.
Yeah.
You don't want number 2 to be stuck horizontally.
Yeah.
Halfway in your neighbors.
We're talking about in the toilet,
Yeah.
not in the body.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, just want to make sure we're
Right.
talking about the same
Yeah.
thing. I told you I'd make you laugh, but I got to get you
This
back
is
on.
exactly how I wanted to start my morning.
Everybody starts their morning
Yeah.
with number 2, right? I mean,
You hope.
if you're a guy, you definitely do. If you're a girl, it
we'll
just
say
depends.
You hope, yeah.
Absolutely.
Anyway, so no, it's very interesting. So like mine, I mean, without even looking at the numbers and the costs of what you guys do, I think you corrected me earlier. I'm probably looking at a 0.8 gallon
Yep.
toilet, and I had probably 3.5.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So I don't really have to do the math, but I can. That's 1/4, a little bit over 1/4 of the
Yeah.
water efficiency.
Yeah, so you're going to reduce that consumption considerably. And
Does that
then,
mean people are just going to keep flushing to get that 4 flushes? Or?
No, so not all toilets are created equal. And that's really important. Low flow toilets have a negative stigma typically attached to them because you're having a double flush or they're consistently running. And that's why we partner specifically with Niagara.
Okay.
We exclusively install their products because they're the most efficient on the market. So you're getting the power of like an airplane toilet where it's going to like suck you down. But yeah, so you're imagining,
Without all the noise.
you're imagining
Yeah.
this.
But more room.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this all the flushing is occurring underwater. So with that,
The flushing
it's,
is occurring underwater.
yep, it's very quiet.
Okay.
And that's why they call it the Niagara Stealth. So super powerful. It has the longest line carry of any ultra high efficiency toilet.
Say it again,
Okay,
Kelly.
hold on. That is
Yeah.
Yes.
impressive because I have
'Cause-
no idea what longest line
Long,
carry is.
Yes.
yeah.
Longest line carry.
Because you were talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
You don't want it getting stuck,
You
right?
don't
That's
want
right.
your waste getting
Number two,
stuck
especially.
Especially my friend's waist.
10, 15 feet down the line.
Because I can't reach in there and pull it out.
No.
No.
You need a really long snake to do that. You're probably going to have to end up jetting the lines. And this is what a lot of multifamily owners are fearful for when they're looking at properties and they're going, oh man, I've got, way outdated products. And how do we upgrade this? Is this going to back up the lines over, the course of 2-3 years? So that's a nice thing with Niagara is that they are tested with the longest line carry on the market. And so even though it's using less water, it's using a lot of power behind it, which is pushing that waste further down the line.
Wow.
So it's not going to clog up.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So again, not all toilets are created equal, and like that's the biggest thing we hear out there is,
Yeah.
oh, I've got this negative stigma with low flow toilets.
Yep. Double flushing, triple flushing. Yeah.
So I'm going to ask about this type of toilet. I don't know what brand it is, but so we go overseas often and
Mm-hmm.
we see toilets that have 2 different types of flushes at the top. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure one's a number 1 flush and one's a number 2
A
flush.
dual flush.
A dual flush.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
A dual flush. Do you
That's
guys ever
really
install those?
fancy.
Or are
Yeah.
those more for A class?
Yeah, so dual flush is certainly available. I don't recommend it typically in Class C or Class B
Because
properties.
people always do number 2.
They're going to end up pressing a full flush anyway
Hmm.
because they're fearful of what might happen, or they're not paying for the bill, or they're just not knowledgeable. And with what we do, we don't want to have to change your residents' behavior.
Did you guys do a case study where you have like 100 people and you've got a camera behind a mirror and you watch to see which
Watch and
one
see.
they flush?
Yeah. I personally have not.
Good, because that probably
That
gets you
would
into
be,
legal issues.
yeah, and coming from the lawyer, yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
was trying to create some business there, but nothing there.
I'll talk to Niagara though to find out how they figured that out.
Oh yeah, I'm sure Carl loved that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's call him.
Yeah. Hey, Carl. Okay, so you do that. Are you now with the showers and the faucets? Are you replacing the heads? Or are you just doing the aerators? Or are you doing both?
Yeah.
Specifically the shower head. So we'll unscrew the shower head that's currently in there, put in ours.
Okay.
And the same thing with the aerators. So
Yeah.
the aerators that are currently in place, we'll just unscrew them and install.
Will
ours.
the shower head match typically? If someone's doing brush nickel or Robo bronze or something like that, do we get a shower head that matches, or is it not like that?
If that's a concern, we can spec that in.
Okay, it's an option
Yep, it is an option for us to spec in.
for
but,
free. That's great.
Yeah, but typically,
Why
everything's
not?
free.
Why not?
You're going to edit that, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Not for free.
But I mean, in Class C properties, it's just gonna, change out with the regular, satin finish, chrome finish, and take it down to like a 1.25 gallon per minute shower head. And that sounds like really low flow, but the way the shower head is engineered, it's giving you the experience of a full force shower. So like for me at home, I have a 1.25 shower head.
She's got a lot more hair.
Yeah,
than
and I
us,
have
too, so
a lot more
that's-
hair, right? So this is always the test at home. My kids have one of these shower heads called the Hot Start because my kids are notorious for
Hot Start.
Yeah, they are notorious for turning on the shower. We have 2 hot water tanks in our garage, 250-gallon hot water tanks in our garage.
Yeah.
They will drain both of those suckers before they get in the shower. So I stopped that. The way I stopped that was...
Well, you have girls.
Yeah, I have 2 girls because they turn the shower on, then they got to pick out their clothes, and they got to put their music on and all that kind of
I'm
stuff.
sure
Yeah.
you've never done anything like
TikToks,
that.
yeah.
No,
I'm sure
never. They have to do their TikToks.
Yeah,
and
no.
TikTok.
Oh, you don't know what
Oh, is
TikTok
that
You don't
the,
know it,
is
yeah.
that the
Yeah.
3-second video?
Yes.
15 seconds.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So the Hot Start will...
We should make this a TikTok.
There you go.
Plug.
So at the Hot Start, once the water hits a certain temperature, the gasket expands and actually seizes the output of the water and moves it to a trickle. And it's holding the water so you're not wasting water, and it's also saving the hot water in your tanks. And then once they're ready to get in the shower, they get in the shower, they press the button, and everything is right there.
Take this water thing pretty seriously, don't you?
That's my passion.
Well, I
I mean,
appreciate-
she's a potty princess.
I'm super fulfilled by saving water.
Fulfilled. Well,
Yeah,
you're actually
fulfilled,
less fulfilled,
yeah.
but well, it's good because Rob and I really appreciate that because you're keeping more water in Lake Louisville.
Yeah. Yeah, and for me, I'm on Lake Ray Hubbard, so
Oh, but you're not a reservoir, are you?
no.
Yeah. Yeah, so people can flush as much as they want over there. And like our boats, we just flush right into the lake because we want to recycle.
Recycle. That's
I'm
perfect.
kidding. That was
Yeah.
a joke because I think it's a $15,000 fine. We don't do that. That was a joke.
That's your disclaimer.
Yes.
That's your legal disclaimer.
That is not
Yeah.
true.
I
Good.
did like going to Lake Louisville. But
Yes.
now-
Well, you ever notice you have this brown kind of film?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
That's why we all
explains
have
it.
showers on the back of our boats. So you stand on the deck and you spritz yourself off so
Right.
that you get the number 2 and whatever else is in the water off.
All right.
It's great. Hey, you guys want to come out to the boat?
Yes.
Yeah.
That would
yeah.
be great. Let's
yeah,
test
Zacy
that.
wants
Sounds,
that.
Yeah.
Wait till you see the toilets on my boat. Boom, like these massive suctions that are, jet engines. I don't know what
man.
but I guarantee you they have very, very, very low water rate.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it is, but back to what you guys do.
Yep.
So I'm actually excited about it because we're looking at it. We've got 2 new ventures we're looking at as well, and I need to get you guys to go up
Yeah.
there, Lubbock, Texas. They have toilets up there, you know that, right?
Yeah.
People do
Just
number 2.
recently, they just moved from the outhouses to the indoor plumbing.
Isn't that wild?
I know.
It's awesome.
So
And-
we're going to
and
put Niagara
We love
toilets in
people
all
from
of those
Lubbock, by
areas.
the way. We
Yeah.
love people. She's not a Red Raider fan, but I love people from Lubbock. Where'd you go to school?
Oh, you. I know.
I already knew that.
I know. I'm a sooner this is going to be trouble.
They just started using toilets like last year.
Yeah.
So it's,
Yeah.
I mean,
That's a shame because I have a lot of listeners that are from OU. That's interesting. OU.
Yep.
And your husband?
OSU. So it's a house
Oh,
to buy.
that's
I
interesting.
know, right?
I actually like OSU
Yeah. I
because
do too.
they're nicer fans.
I was just going to say
They're
that.
much nicer. Like,
I
we
think
go
the
and play them.
fans are so nice.
It was fun to go to the games.
Yeah.
I mean, they were like everybody's friendly.
Yeah.
OU?
Not so much.
Not so much.
Yeah, my husband won't go in the Sooner Stadium.
Yeah. Well, you're pretty nice for being from someone from OU.
It's because I married my husband.
He married you.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, something like that. I don't even know what we're talking about here. Bleep that out. Edit that. So what else can you tell everybody that might be a fun fact? I can't remember the numbers on the deal I looked at, but I think it was about $57,000, and it looked like I was going to break even at the 2-year mark on mine.
Yep.
And then after that, it was, can I say gravy with toilets?
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's gravy.
It's all money in your pocket.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Especially when it's all bills paid. So our average clients will see an ROI of 12 to 14 months. It just really depends on what part of the country the property is in because the water and sewer rates are varying all across the
Right.
country. But that's something that, we have a lot of that knowledge. And we also, research about the rebates that are available across the country. Something that most people don't think about is like in Tulsa, the sewer rate in Tulsa is
It's high.
3 times
Right.
what it is the water rate. And so when you're talking about toilets, that's going to hit both the water and the sewer.
Yeah.
And then when you're
Because it's all measured on consumption, right? So,
Well, one of the things we looked at a Tulsa property. One of the things we were doing is we were going to provide each tenant with a year supply of Metamucil.
oh,
Yeah, so that we would
There you
keep everything flowing nice and easy, and so that we wouldn't have double and triple flushes.
Yeah.
You know, and it keeps them healthy and keeps them clean and, you know, reduces the chance of colon cancer. You know, we're trying to save the environment.
Yeah, except that those inefficient fixtures are probably also leaking.
Well, no, I meant in addition to doing a water conservation.
Oh, okay, good.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
So you're gonna
yeah.
couple. So it's like you get a free toilet. Here's your goodie bag.
Yeah, it's kind of I mean, maybe some toilet paper with it.
Yeah.
Some
Okay.
scented toilet paper.
Yeah. Reading
Yeah, it's about
material.
value add. Reading materials pushing it. They can read the label on the Metamucil.
Oh, that's over budget.
It is over budget. Yeah, so I was excited to see the numbers. And I think there might have been another competitor out there, and you guys were, and I'm not going to mention the competitor's name, but
Right.
you guys were, I don't want to say significantly, but impressively less. And I wasn't looking to shop, but
Yeah.
I liked the information I got from you guys.
Thank
I
you.
liked the analysis. The responsiveness was very, very good. We had one of your guys out there in
Yeah.
like a day. I
Yeah.
didn't give you a whole lot of notice.
Tony's a good guy.
Tony's a really good
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, and he's local. So that's part
Tell him to
of
stop emailing me every 5 minutes. No, I'm just kidding.
that's part of the way we give back. So with some of our clients that are at the deal analysis stage where they're not quite at LOI, but they're looking to pencil the deal and they want to know,
Right.
we're usually within the top 3, top 5 phone calls of, hey, if we send you the OM, send you the T12, can you give us some really conservative numbers? And we'll do that. And that's through our experience and what we see with other properties in that market. And then should you go to due diligence stage, then we'll walk with you
Right.
and provide you back a partial analysis. So we kind of sharpen that pencil a little bit further. Then if it still continues to make sense, that's when we're going to enter in and access 100% of the units. And we're going to document those fixture rated flow rates so we can get the exact baseline, get you real focused on what the actual savings is going to look like, right? And at that point, we're also documenting any type of subflooring issues, door swing issues, things that might
Door swing?
door swing. Yeah. So if your toilet sticks out too far, you may not be able to close the bathroom door. I have seen this where installers have installed toilets and they can't close the door. I
Yeah.
have seen this time and time again.
People close
Some
the door
great
when they
floor
use the
plans out
bathroom?
there.
well,
Yeah,
sometimes when they're not
I
married.
thought we were kind of like an open society.
Yeah. So we see that. So we're
Or would you say
looking-
when they're not married?
Yeah, when they're not married.
That's funny. That's good.
So
3 old married people here. Is
Yeah,
that you, honey? No, it's not me.
the dynamics of the conversation
Oh, yeah,
and everything,
yeah,
it
yeah.
all changes.
That's interesting. I wouldn't have even thought about that.
Yeah. So we're looking for all that because, once we put a team on site, we don't want to stop production because we're installing like 50 to 60 bathrooms a day.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, like on a typical 200 or 300 unit deal,
Yeah.
what's the time frame
Less
people
than
should
a week.
expect? And then for a tenant being in there, is it what, an hour or 2
Nah,
hours?
20 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, and if we have to shut the water off because we have to change the angle stop, that might take it up to like 30 minutes or so. But then we also put a project supervisor with each of our crews. So after the crew comes out, that project supervisor is making sure that everything is turned on properly, that the caulking around the base of the toilet is clean, that everything is left the way it should have been. So that way it reduces the number of resident callbacks.
These guys are impressive too. The way they move through a property.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys are.
They just
are
haul
like
this
my
toilet up
size,
on their
throwing out
shoulder,
the old
running down
toilet.
the
Yeah.
running
They
down
get
the
their shit
stairs.
done.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. In and out.
Literally.
Yeah. So, on these deals, do you guys provide a porta potty so that the tenant who may be down for 20 minutes, if they have to do number 2, is there a porta potty, or do they just have to hold it?
Yeah, they're just gonna have to hold it, or they can go down to the community bathroom.
But what if the community bathroom's being worked on at the same time?
Yeah, that's probably not gonna happen. Then I guess we're gonna load them up and take them around the corner to
I always try to
QC.
stump people with questions they're
But
not
that's a
prepared
good
for.
question. I mean, would that be a
Yes.
value add that
think it
we
might
need to?
be.
So we're gonna need to do that on your properties.
On my properties. Yeah,
Okay.
porta potty. Yeah, that would be fine.
Okay.
Awesome. Awesome.
Well, you mentioned that you like all bills paid, which
I like all bills paid in certain markets, and it's obviously going to be based on the cap rate.
Yeah.
But all bills paid is for me, it's something that I like to look at because if I can reduce water, I can control electric consumption.
Yeah.
You can do fairly well, and you can always bill back through RUBS if you want. But
Yep.
Even if you're billing back through RUBS, you're billing the tenants back a lot less.
Yep.
So it's a win-win for everybody.
Exactly.
Now, do I prefer all bills paid on everything? No, because you can't control it's hard. You can control certain things, but
Yeah.
as you said, the tenant can still do this and leave the water running all day long
Yep.
unless you put additional things into it.
Yep.
Well, because one of my favorite things that I hear sometimes is people say, well, we're going to put rubs on the property. And all of a sudden that's going to fix conservation and they're going to use less, right? That's what
Yeah.
they think. But the analogy that I like to use is like when we go out to a bar and we're going to split a tab 10 ways,
Yeah.
I don't drink less or I don't eat less, right? So it's the same thing as happening out on a property where
Can I go to the bar with you when you do that?
Yeah.
Somehow when
I'm
I
gonna
go to the bar,
with you.
it's like people are splitting it one way. I don't know why.
Yeah.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
You're younger though.
yeah.
I don't go to the bar with 10 people.
No.
I don't even know 10 people.
Your inner circle is
yeah.
really small.
Yeah, it's getting small like the toilet bowl. Yeah. So, do you guys do bidets also?
We do not.
No?
We do not. But we do see a lot of bidets when we're out doing full assessments.
Well, that's
We
interesting.
see that.
What
a
about
lot.
heated toilet seats?
So those would be value adds, things
Right.
that, if somebody wants to upgrade, but that's not something we've been asked
I
for
will
yet.
say-
Do you want to provide that for your
Well, what about the
residents?
seats that go like
The
this?
slow
Slow.
close.
I
yes.
love the slow close. My boat has them. My
Yes.
house has them.
Yes.
Rob has 3 minutes till break has them.
Yeah.
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 What is good though, because anytime we're out on a property and we're telling people, hey, we're going to replace the toilets, the first thing that they say is it going to sit higher than my current toilet? Because they don't want that low toilet where they
you know,
fall
'cause
down.
Have you ever
taller
had to
now.
hit the
Yeah.
grab bar to sit down on the toilet because it's so low to the ground?
No.
Yeah. Well.
So we install
Happens on a regular basis.
ADA compliant toilets, so
Yeah.
they do sit higher.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be really cool if you guys could design a toilet that has hydraulics.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. That'd be very cost efficient for C-class multifamily,
It
wouldn't it?
would.
Or for
yeah.
your
So your
feet,
toilets
at
are
least.
generally higher?
The ROI is going to go from 12 months to 20
No,
years.
I think you can raise rent $100 for a hydraulic toilet.
Right.
Definitely seen some underwriting that does that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so are your toilets? I mean, all kidding aside, they are higher.
Yep. they sit
ADA
higher.
compliant, yes.
What, what's the average height of a toilet? This would be
It's
interesting.
19 and a half inches from the floor to the top of the seat.
Yeah. And so a
What's
lot
the
of
average height of a shin? From ankle to knee. Have you
I
calculated
don't
that yet?
know.
Is the population getting taller? Is that the problem?
I don't know.
Or they're getting older, too.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's...
But then you would want
That's
more
a good
comfortable
question.
seats because
Yeah.
they're going to be more comfortable. Generation X is catching up.
A
And
lot of these toilets we see are sitting 15 inches, 15 and a half inches off the ground. That's pretty short.
right.
So it just makes it more comfortable, especially
So-
in the Class C.
So what we're learning is it's water conservation,
Mm-hmm.
it's joint conservation. Joint is in your knees, disc
There you go.
conservation in your lower
Yeah.
back,
It's just
and money
healthier.
conservation.
Yeah.
So you provide 4 benefits.
There you go.
That is
Yeah.
unbelievable.
I didn't even
Really?
think about those other two.
Yeah.
That's what I'm here
think-
for.
Yeah.
I try to be diversified and
Clearly, we learned that earlier.
full spectrum.
You're hitting all that.
I'm hitting all of it. We're going to take a break for a second. Rob has to change out the thing, and we're going to talk about something funny.